All right. Alors, thank you so much for being here. Today we have another podcast, another day in paradise. So, as you made fun of me the other day, like it is a little bit sarcastic. It's obviously not paradise, especially today. It's really, really hot, and I'm sweating like bullets. So, thank you guys for being here. I know Reda has been here already the first time, exactly. and I'm very happy for you guys to be here. So, who wants to start introducing?
I can
start. Who wants to start the introduction? Okay, go for it.
Well, my name is Ziriab. I'm 25 years old. Spent pretty much all my life in Morocco.
Okay.
Grew up with Ghali, actually.
All right, great.
Met Reda as well. Probably 10 years ago. So we're very close. Both, and I just met you recently.
Yeah. I mean, we played soccer together a couple times, but
exactly.
We formally met like recently.
Yeah.
And how did you meet Reda? Because Reda told me this is just a small parenthesis, but Reda met you.
There's a particular story.
There's a particular story. We met when I was, as you know, we have a very. Well, he's not that old compared to me, but when I was a kid, he was.
The difference
older
was
than
more,
me.
Yeah.
So we had the basis of our relationship was more of a big brother, little brother thing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first day we actually. Connected. We've met before, but the actual day we connected was the day I used to play basketball a lot. And he saw me play a couple times, and one day I was playing basketball, and he brought me a jersey. A Michael Jordan jersey.
Wow.
And he offered
he just
it
gifted
to me.
you. Okay, well, that's
he
cool.
offered it to me.
I didn't know
we
you
knew
were
each
that
other
generous.
before.
Okay.
I mean, but really just high and stuff. And from that day, we started
connecting a little bit more. Okay.
We started really being friends.
After he gave you a free thing, so I see where your friendship lies.
Like a few years
now
later,
we can be friends. All right, I'll be your friend, no problem.
We really started being close friends in 2013.
All right.
Was the year we really started being friends.
Okay, hit enough. Okay, great. So Ghali, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
All right.
My name's Reda. I'm 25. I'm a dentist.
Yeah.
What I do. I've been, like you said, we've been friends for a long time. Reda, I'm not gonna say recently, but he came into the picture about 5
You
6
came
years
into the picture.
Okay.
His picture. You came into his picture.
I'm gonna take that one. And to be honest, I loved the guy ever since.
Yeah,
Great guy.
Cool, awesome.
Thank you.
So Reda, I know you have been in the first podcast, which was great, by the way. Millions of views.
It was a great experience.
Fantastic. but how do you see this podcast? What did you think about the podcast the first time, and what do you think is the evolution you think the podcast should go to? This is your second time around.
First of all, I'm familiar with your the French version of your podcast, which I'm a big fan. Ça reste entre nous. I hope you'll put the link.
I will put the link
and everything.
For French speakers, go for it.
And I was a really big fan of the whole concept because you introduced us to people like that kind of have.
Go for it. I'm just destroying the.
Yeah, no worries. That have a particular story to tell. That have life experiences, different life experiences and stuff, and it was nice to like discover people, especially in a country where we don't have a lot of opportunities to see like common people, how they think, how they what they do and everything. And when you said
you and I, we have talked about. I'm sorry, I cut you off, but you and I, we have been talking about where we think we should take this podcast, etc. And the main thing that I told him, and Reda has been like on the same page with me like all along. But I told him, you know what? Sometimes I have some great conversations with some interesting people, and I just want to share this with a big community. The community would get hopefully a little bigger and bigger and bigger. Hence, you will meet more and more interesting people, and so it would just be like a
big
snowball. Exactly. So I think that's the main idea. And going online, one of my main challenge was like, I don't know if I want to expose myself. And I know a lot of people, maybe you guys too, but you will tell me. But like, this is one of the thing that holds you back maybe a little bit. And like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I like exposing? Like, okay, we could just have this conversation in a cafe like we did yesterday. It was fun. So, and I told you guys yesterday, well, you know what? Like, exactly what we have been talking here, it could have been recorded, and the same thing. So no preparation. We don't take notes. We don't pretend to know anything better. We are not experts per se on anything in particular, but we just like to have conversations, and we share and we learn from each other. So I think this is the main idea of the whole podcast thing that I'm starting. Like I have, like Reda said, like I have a French version where same thing. We just have some interesting people. We have conversations. We learn from them. Hopefully, they learn from us a little bit too. And that's the main goal of this whole adventure. Yeah. And so let's jump right into it. So the first thing we were talking about is right before the podcast started. Is I told you, hey, have you guys heard about some pretty interesting trends online? And I'm sorry. One of the main things that is still working is obviously videos of like cute cats, dogs, etc. These work really, puppies and etc. So these still are like, they make a lot of views, etc. But some of the strange things that are very, very popular on YouTube and that make millions of views, literally, are how do you call it? ASMR? ASMR.
In French,
something like that.
ASMR.
All right.
In English,
4
I don't know if
letters.
it's the same.
Yeah,
It's the same.
It's 3 letters.
4?
And is it
4?
or is it?
It's 4. It's 4.
AMR,
ASMR for those who are hearing us.
Okay.
They can Google it.
All right. Well, anyways, so I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what that means.
Already a pro.
But what is the what is how can you describe it to us? Because I know you're
familiar with it.
Yeah.
Reda has never heard of it.
I wasn't familiar
And
with it.
Ghali maybe once or twice. But
I once heard it when I was watching a video of a guy, a French guy. I don't know if I should name the guy, but whatever. He makes videos on YouTube, and basically what he does is he creates pranks.
Okay.
Where he chooses a character. And the most famous character is the worst in French. It's le pire stagiaire.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Exactly.
So
this guy.
Intern. Yeah. Okay.
This guy. And in the beginning of each video, he starts it with he says ceci est une séquence ASMR. You know?
Okay.
So
Do it.
He says it like
so
that.
what is it? So give us a sample.
Ceci est une séquence ASMR.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guy,
And he would just make like tiny little
Guys,
sounds.
just for the info,
seconds, yeah.
ASMR is autonomous sensory meridian response.
Okay, whatever that means.
All right.
Okay.
and the point is, well, that's what I understood from it is the satisfying part, the fact that you hear it and somehow it
helps you relax. It helps you. Okay, so
I guess that's the point.
So I saw many different versions of it. So obviously it's whispering is one thing, but it's also maybe like just tapping. Going like this.
Yeah, I think it's the clarity of the sound.
Yes.
Exactly. Like there's these apps like to help sleep. And stuff
like
that.
those
They
white
use that
noise.
kind of,
White noise kind of thing.
Yeah.
But these are honestly, the first time I saw it, I'm like, is it like a fetish? Is it really helping you relax or sleep? Because sometimes it's like a woman would just chew gum and she would like.
Yeah, there's a creepy part too.
There's a creepy part.
Definitely.
You know, it's like the thing when you scroll on Instagram and you watch videos of things getting crushed.
Well, that is satisfying.
That's toothpaste or I don't know, something weird getting crushed. And
it's very psychological. Man.
It's very psychological.
It is.
It depends on your profile. It depends on who you are. It depends on a lot of things.
Yeah, I think it just takes your attention without the burden of having to think about what's happening or whatever. You just like it's a way to kind
of
like.
That's what TV is for me.
Yeah, but TV kind of plays on your emotions more.
TV is a lot of senses.
This is something that is almost close to like emptying your head.
But these sounds, I can reproduce them very easily. I can just start typing on the table.
I think it's about surrendering yourself to one sense.
Yeah, okay.
You know, exactly. Either visual or listening, or it's just a way to focus.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I think it's also a way to evade. You know, we live in a time where
it's
everyone is surfing on this trend of creating content that helps you evade yourself. You can see that with drugs. You know, drugs is a way to evade yourself from the
don't do drugs.
Don't.
From the difficult reality of life and all this stuff.
True.
And these kind of trends, I think they go with this.
That's true.
And it's
also helping you evade
the way we
reality
consume.
Somehow.
The way we consume like social media is like so rapid, and like the frequency is like it's very aggressive. Like when you fall on one of those videos, it's kind of like gives you that break.
It's like a break.
You know, let's take that little moment to like
that's true.
collect ourselves before.
Exactly.
So another trend that is very popular and for me very surprising, or at least you know, as far as I'm concerned, but maybe I'm old school. But it's called Study With Me. Who has heard about this one?
No.
Study With Me.
Never
so it's as simple as it sounds. It's as stupid as it sounds, apparently.
You got a partner study. A study
so,
partner.
for example, you studied probably more than the average guy, I guess. So, well, you are a dentist, aren't you? But anyways,
go dentist.
Just go for it. Take the compliment. Take the compliment. So imagine you have big exam, you write a big essay, you write whatever. So you have your computer, you have a lot of paperwork, and you study from this book, and you have your computer, so you can do quick research, whatever. So you put a camera, and you film your desk. So we cannot really read what you do. So it's not like, okay, you're going to teach us, we're going to study together. So I study, and you study. And that's it. So I just pull up my computer and I have a picture of Ghali, a video of Ghali like studying, and I would just be studying with
motivation.
Motivation, really? Like, is that really gonna motivate?
I think that's their goal.
I think it's just a way to tell yourself that you're not the only one in that
yeah, but
situation.
you can. Of course, you're not the only one. Really?
People are so visual these days.
I think it depends on the generations, what you're used to and everything, because for me like
did you grow up with I'm sorry to ask this question, but did you have TV growing up, for example?
Course.
And he's not supported
what I meant is generations, for example, that didn't have digital things.
No, we didn't have. So that's actually a good point. So I grew up with TV, obviously, but I did not grow up with internet.
So
see,
I
did not grow up with a cell phone.
Right.
Cell phone. I only had a cell phone when I was like 17, or the first cell phones, like the big Alcatel or whatever.
Oh, you had that one.
Yeah, the yellow one. Yeah, the curvy one. Exactly.
I had that one too.
Sexy.
Back then, people were not as visual as people now.
But what do you think is the appeal of like having somebody studying? He's not talking to you. You cannot read what he's doing. He just has sometimes no music, no nothing.
Yeah.
And for 3 hours, it's a video of him studying.
I'm gonna tell you something about myself. When I was at the end of my years in the faculty, it started getting a little bigger, and sometimes I felt I know it was not a thing, but I felt like I needed someone next to me to go through that, you know.
But physical.
Yeah, like I needed physically. I needed someone next to me that I could see going through the same things.
Well, a study buddy. I had that too when I went to college. But with the computer, like on somebody on screen, do you think it would have replaced that?
You would understand it for this generation,
Yeah.
knowing that they do everything on a phone.
That's the difference, because our generation, because we're a bit older. You a lot.
All right, come on, guys. Stop.
But you know, we've been used to spending time alone.
Yeah,
like physically and in general. Like
which is a bad thing.
Today, like
which is a bad thing.
Do,
you think, to spend time alone?
Too much.
Not too much.
I think that the bad thing comes from the new approach, which is that basically when you're alone, you're never alone. You're always on social media, talking to people, doing activities. streaming when you're playing
just
alone.
Unplug, man.
And
to
stuff
unplug
like that.
and just relax, have
And I
nothing.
think
No
that's
TV, no radio, no nothing
studying
running.
has that effect where you're just you and yourself and your books, and you need to do this for yourself. But how can I stay connected with someone? Because basically we're kind of, I think that this new social media thing kind of, like separates you from you feel like you're kind of like an outcast if you're not part of a community. Even when you do something that's just you, like taking a shower almost becomes frustrating. You need to put music, you need to do,
Yeah,
so
I think it's the paradox of life, man. The paradox of what those things brought. Social media brought connection, but we are
alone.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we are lonelier than we ever were.
Absolutely.
And the thing is that I think when I said it was a bad thing, I think that since we have this phenomenon of being alone, even though we're connected, I think that I lost the trail.
Okay. let me bounce on this. But I saw you digging a hole there, but I'm like, let's see what he's going to do. But, when I used to study back in I did the undergrad and my grad school back in the US. And
in
I used to
1937?
It was in black and white. No TV back then, though. No, I'm just kidding. I love that one. Did you have TV? Come on, man.
No, man.
Get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about?
Like 40 people who
Yeah,
are
but
40.
you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna let you handle that one. He's like 2 weeks younger than me. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna let you handle that one. Did you have TV, Grandpa? Yeah, of course I did. Anyways, we did have TV, and fuck you. All right. So
I think this trend.
excuse me, let me
Yeah,
just finish
go
with
for
this.
it.
So I used to study. I could study at home, very quiet. Nobody was at home. Everybody was either working or studying. But I went to a famous coffee shop. It's a chain. I don't want to do the name because I don't want to give them our millions of.
We were there yesterday.
Exactly. So Starbucks. So I used to go to Starbucks and what do you want? Oh, a napkin. So I used to go to Starbucks and study, and I'm like, why? It's a little bit loud, but not too loud. But I like to be surrounded by people and then focus and plunge on my thing. So it's that weird vibe of you want to study with somebody who's studying with you, even though you're not gonna really be talking and communicating, but you just want to feel the presence of somebody. To have that presence being online, maybe it's a generation thing. I agree with you, maybe not. But to me, when it's study time, I need to focus. I can't be answering phones. I don't even take my phone with me. So I disappear for half a day. I come back. I study.
It's the same thing. Like if you look at concerts, for instance, today.
Yeah.
Most concerts today are being seen through their phones, even when they're in the concert. Me personally, it's something I have a lot of trouble with. I'll never take out my phone. Or I'm a big fan of sunsets. Mm-hmm. I take a lot of people. You guys know we do that often. I have always some friends and stuff, and I'm like telling them, okay, let's go see that. When we were there,
nobody looks.
It's pointless to take a picture. It's in front of you, man. Why do you take a picture?
And they stay like half an hour. The back against the view and stuff. I'm gonna what caption, what this, what that.
Yeah, true. And funny, but it's interesting. Those pictures they will probably never go back and see because they are not really interesting on a picture format. They were interesting in live, and you were there, but you missed the moment because you're like, okay,
because
Bon Jovi is having a concert. Let me take pictures, dude. It's
because
on TV,
what they're interested
much better
in,
than on your picture.
Of course, because what they're interested in, people who do that is. How it's gonna feel
to show it again.
To show people that you're doing that.
Okay,
hey guys, I have a life.
You
I'm
need
doing
recognition.
something cool. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that
sharing everything in life that becomes
more important than the thing itself.
Yeah, exactly. Than the experience itself.
Exactly. The instinct is to share every time.
Yeah.
Like even pain.
No,
I
it's
see
not
some
to share.
Are like,
I don't think it's to share. It's to provide yourself the feeling that people will see you doing something nice. You know, it's not about sharing because sharing is
when I
different.
say sharing, I'm talking about sharing in the sense that then there's a lot of nuances. Some people do it for attention. Some people do it for this. Some people genuinely just want to share it with people.
Of course.
I'm not talking about the intentions behind it, but it's the general sense of sharing, like not dealing with stuff yourself.
Yeah.
Me, I see videos of people that I have on social media. They involve their community in their breakups, and my parents are doing this, or my parents are getting a divorce. My boyfriend cheating on me. I
think
very personal
this
things.
Girl or that guy is just looking for support the way they taught him to.
Yeah, it can have a lot of different. Some people are looking for attention, some for support. I'm not judging what's the intention behind it. It's just that the general. The move reflex is to like just share it. The first thing.
But to get back to the trend of
study with me.
Yeah, study with me. I think it's first of all a matter of generation, but I think it's also a matter of circumstances. 2021 after COVID,
true.
And you experience that even at work. I surprise myself sometimes. When you make reunions, meetings with your colleagues. And the meeting is supposed to be like 30 minutes. But then when you get back to something you were doing before, you stay connected to the guy, and he's working on I surprise myself doing that as well. Because the physical presence,
you need it's hard to get nowadays, of course.
It has become very rare. So
that's a funny thing, because I don't know if it's a question of generations. Maybe, I don't know. Since you're old, once again, maybe you know better.
Get it
but like
you got it started. Hey, Grandpa, do you have to eat?
When the whole confinement started and stuff, I don't know for you guys, because you said that people tend to look for presents. I went the other way. Like
the physical presence has become rare. So you take what you have. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean, but me, for instance, my experience, I went to the things that I can do by myself more. I started playing guitar a bit. I went towards painting, like stuff that really
you center
recenters around myself. Cooking, like I started enjoying cleaning, stuff like that.
I want to come back to the thing I lost.
Why? Because you said cooking. Is that what started you off?
It's the loneliness that those things brought. You are so used to being able to, it made it so easy. You don't need to go see someone. You just have to phone him or video call him. So, but you as a human being, your nature didn't change. Social media came, but your nature is still human. You still need to connect with people. And I think that's the origins of everything you see today. The social crisis that we're living in, it has a big part to do with it.
Listen, I think the COVID is a very good way to judge things. Well, hear me out. So we thought, okay, COVID, those people are going crazy because they are alone. Some people are stuck during the confinement, for example, in Paris, in some tiny studios, like 9 square meters.
Some people don't even have windows.
Exactly. So like, now I'm not allowed to, I want to rent a dog to just pretend I'm going to walk the dog, or everybody became, in Paris, it was pretty funny. Everybody became athlete. Everybody started running. I'm going for my run. Dude, you haven't run in 10 years. Now you want to run. But anyways, it's very understandable. People want to go out, etc. But this social distress was not, how can I say this? Was not solved by social media. So that shows that social media does not replace a face-to-face interaction. It could never replace it. So study with me. There is nothing better than having somebody physically studying with you. So if that's an alternative to have somebody on YouTube or whatever studying with you, etc. Okay, but social media is nothing but the real thing. It's actually anti-social media.
Yeah.
Yes and no, because at the same
time...
Go
with yes first. Let's see what you have to say.
Go with I'm no? Going more towards the no.
Very contrarian.
But
okay.
We tend to go towards the stuff that we don't have access to.
That's true.
I think that plays a big part. The guy that you don't value something until you lose it. So going down to the store, getting your stuff
becomes an exciting part of your day.
Confinement,
True.
like it becomes the highlight of your
Okay,
day.
get closer.
Thank you.
Yeah. So absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the second trend, to a third trend. I'll say which is almost the same thing. This one is called "Sleep with Me." So it's not anything like sexual, but it's as boring and simple as it seems.
I would understand it even more.
Come on, man.
Is it the
Sleep
same
with
concept?
me.
Like you
Yeah.
connect with someone
You
on
say-
a video
you don't
call and
say
then
anything.
you
All right, now it's 10:30. I'm going to sleep. Dude, you see, it's stupid, man. Come on.
Man, no.
So, okay,
but
so here's my
guys,
point.
guys,
Here's
I
my
didn't
point.
understand. Like you film yourself going to sleep,
And
right?
then
Man,
you
it's
sleep.
like a Skype call
And
or
then for
whatever.
8 hours
with
while
someone
you
you don't
sleep.
know,
Yeah.
with someone you
Or
don't know,
Like, let's imagine I go online,
right?
and tonight I just set up the camera, and then I say, all right, guys, I'm going to bed. Good night. And then I go to bed, and then the camera is shooting me at night, just sleeping and snoring and
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah.
I mean, you can spend a lot of time trying to understand the.
But who would watch 8 hours of this?
Someone that's very lonely,
a
man.
lot of-
Somebody
No.
who's sleeping.
No, no,
Just sleep.
He's not gonna
I
watch
think-
it.
I think
but
the-
obviously he's gonna sleep all the way through it.
No, but you can spend a lot of time trying to understand how useful it can be to a few people. Maybe it is,
Okay.
you know. Maybe
it
maybe
probably
some people
is.
find
It
useful.
has thousands of views.
But I think the
Tens of
main
thousands of views.
diagnosis
More than we
it
do.
makes on society
Absolutely.
today
We're getting
is that people are ready to create any sort of content
Mm.
just to. What I mean is that there's no value oriented creation.
Okay.
You know, the intention that those people that create those trends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think maybe some people have good intentions and maybe they want to
Of
bring
course.
value to society.
Yeah.
But I think
there's
that
a lot
most
of,
people that follow those trends are just people that want to make a name out of themselves or be famous for something. What I mean by that is that
I agree.
value creation, something that is useful, truly useful to society, is not the parameter that is considered by most people today when they
If
create
were
something.
not
You know.
adding value,
I
they
agree.
will not be successful. I
But
think.
there's a lot.
What?
There's a lot of that as
No,
well.
I mean the definition of value has changed. You know,
Yes.
what I consider as
That-
being
that
something
I agree
valuable
with.
and
I
useful
don't
is
agree.
is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
is not the
To some
definition that those
extent.
people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To some
Totally,
extent,
totally.
because
Because
on
it's
social
not useful
media,
at all, man. In a general,
It's useful
you know what
to
I mean?
everybody, but in truth, it's not useful, man.
I mean,
I don't agree, guys. If you use your social media the right way and you don't spend your time watching the guy sleeping and stuff, because all those social media are algorithms,
Yes.
right?
if I use social
And-
media the right way, I would not follow people. For example,
No, I don't agree. Like I'm telling you, professionally, social media to learn stuff, to do stuff.
agreed, man.
and stuff.
then you
I'm not
would have
speaking
another
about that.
account for
No, but that's
professional
a
media,
big
man.
part of the content that
Of
is
course,
being
bro.
made.
I'm not speaking about that. I'm speaking about those people who create things that, in my opinion, are not
I agree,
value oriented.
They don't want to
things.
solve any problem.
But we
They
can-
just
Yeah,
throw it
exactly.
out
They're
put
not
it on-
responding to
To a need.
anyone's
Yeah.
needs.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
you gotta sleep. You go to bed and you sleep. You don't
Exactly.
need to watch anyone.
But
you know what I mean?
on the
In my
on the
opinion.
internet, you can find somebody who will enjoy anything. If I pretend I'm gonna be like, okay, guys, I'm gonna make weird noises. I'm sure eventually you will find somebody who makes weird noises and has thousands of views.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna
Of course.
like throw rocks from my window. I'm sure you will find somebody
yeah.
like a lot of people who would say, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I like it."
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah, so
But
the definition of value has
if
changed.
there's one
you
that
know?
does it, like if there's the one guy in the world that tells you, "Oh, I'm gonna film myself sleeping," you'll be curious to kind of see what happens when someone sleeps or something. You can have that curiosity,
No, yeah.
but
I
when it
wonder what
becomes a
happens.
trend and having a lot of people watch it,
Exactly.
Yeah, I
that's
think
when
that's
it
weird.
becomes,
That becomes weird because
disruptive.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one. I think this one is going to surprise you also. This one is called Eat With Me.
Eat with me.
I'm not saying
This I get.
these are some weird stuff. I'm saying these are some weird stuff who are hugely successful.
Yep.
Millions of views. Some people are very famous just with this, just with Eat With Me. When I say Eat With Me, they don't go to fancy restaurants and they eat like crazy food or look, this sushi chef is make some amazing things. He's from Japan and he makes crazy things. No. They go to KFC, they go to McDonald's.
Oh yeah, so
and they grab things and they start
weird.
chewing and going like, eat with me.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
It's the same,
Everything
man.
you
It's
just
the same
talked
again.
about,
Yeah.
the 4 trends we just talked about, it's they.
Do you think they respond to a need?
Yeah, I think not a need in the basic sense
Nobody
of it.
needs to see that. and to
Nobody
hear that.
needs to
Okay.
hear that. But what I'm talking about is people that think that they need it because they were made in a position, in a situation where they need that to feel okay, to feel safe. Because if I am exposed to this all day,
How can
just
seeing
hear me out.
someone-
Hear me
Okay,
out.
let
Let
him
him
finish.
finish.
If I'm exposed to this all day, being lonely, you know, I'm looking at stuff, thinking that I'm enjoying myself, talking with my friends, but in truth, I go to my place and I'm as empty as I got out.
Sure.
When this thing goes away, you're gonna start looking for it,
Yeah.
and I think they find it in this.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think they look for company? People just
Exactly.
are lonely.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think
well,
so.
Well, I think so. I think so. Honestly, I wasn't really aware of this idea, but I'm pretty convinced. And I think what you said before, like being lonely, it's dangerous to feel lonely. But I think if you know how to be lonely, it's like this is a superpower.
Of course.
If you know how to be lonely, it's much better than finding bad company. Oh, I'm just gonna hang out with these friends because I don't want to be alone all day at home. Well, sometimes it's better.
You
Just build
always-
yourself, like
you
you said,
always-
learn
Mhm.
guitar, do this,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that. On
definitely.
YouTube,
You
there are
always-
tutorials that are
when
crazy.
you start valuing that time,
Absolutely, absolutely.
You always need time to reflect on whatever you got. But the things you got, you're gonna get them from society, from your peers, and then you need that time because you're a human being to be alone to reflect on everything you got and to reflect on yourself. And we need that for evolution. But the basis is the relationships we have.
yeah, but
Guys,
where
just
I don't
one
get-
thing on the trend, very quickly. I think the idea of a trend is a trend itself.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
That's
and
true.
it all started. Do you
exactly
guys
it.
remember the Harlem Shake?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
was
that's-
crazy.
It's the exact. It's the same thing. Like people just dancing around the
died
song.
over
and
But you
with
see
no
Harlem
absolute
Shakes,
reason.
stuff
And
like
then-
that.
and then
you can like take it further, do it better.
Yes,
or
exactly.
whatever.
But the point of it in the very beginning was to chase views. You know.
That's true.
Well,
So
of
online,
course.
there's a lot of
But
that.
like
Even on
most
the media
content-
So
in
you
general,
can
that's what they
yeah.
do.
So you can talk about how useful it can be to some people and stuff, but
It's not that
the basis of it is
Attention.
somehow, in my opinion, a bit corrupted because it's
Yeah.
just to chase
But it's
views.
still
It's just the
entertaining.
views.
It's
still
So it's
entertaining.
socially
Attention.
it's
True.
socially useless.
Yeah,
You-
but
oh,
it's
of course.
entertaining.
These
Whereas
people-
eating, like for instance, chicken wings in front of someone or whatever, if you feel lonely, I get all that stuff that you
True.
want. But there's other variations of
it's-
content that you
yeah,
can see. You can
it's
see
not-
someone
it's not
singing,
in-
you
yeah.
can see
Quality
someone
content,
Yeah,
man.
swimming,
But make me laugh. Make
having
me,
someone eating like KFC in front of you or snoring for 3
You know,
hours.
I think it started
don't
in
get it.
Asia.
But
This
it
trend
gets
of
your
eating
attention.
started in Asia.
It
I think
doesn't,
that's
of
the
course.
goal.
Mine
The
doesn't.
goal is not
We're
to
a
get
victim of
views.
it. We're a
It's-
victim of this
It's to
trend.
get attention. They came up with a whole lot of stuff to try and take your attention. This guy, when you're gonna watch him eat, I know it sounds stupid, but people are gonna be interested in him because he's got so many followers and people
Exactly.
paying attention to him.
Exactly.
Yes, of
You
course.
know,
There's that, concept of it's like that experiment where they put a line and they put 2 people doing a line for nothing, and 3 and 4, and then people started going in line just because there's a
Yeah.
line.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there's
C'est
that- there's that,
l'effet moutonnier. We're speaking.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
the-
It's
the-
l'effet
Moutonnier
Moutonnier.
effect, yes.
L'effet au contraire, mon frère.
In fact,
Super fact, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So what do you think
Massive
about it? Do you think what medium is it, TV or is it internet that has more trash content, like the content just for the views?
TV's dead.
TV is
That
dead.
was very,
I'm not gonna lie.
Like
Solennel.
I think that
TV's dead.
TV, what is surviving from TV, has a certain type of quality.
Absolutely,
Because
it's
the
more
trash-
expensive.
The trash
to start
can't,
with.
can't
It's more expensive
can't
to produce
really,
something on TV.
Can't really survive. I'm talking about trash in terms of content that doesn't have its audience.
Added value.
Oh, well,
Because if we're talking about trash, reality TV stuff like that, are we considering this as trash or not? Personally, like I think it's one of the worst things that ever happened to society.
That's one of the things that was brought by loneliness, man. You see a group of people living in front of you because you're not living yourself.
But this I get because it's entertaining. What I hate about reality TV is that you can be whoever you want to be. You're gonna look at reality TV. The video is 5 minutes. For some goddamn reason, you're there for 5 minutes, even if you hate it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
And that's where the danger is, because they bring extreme people that react in extreme ways in extreme situations.
Of course, they bring non-knowing people that don't know how to react.
I think the secret of it is that in reality shows, they put people that represent, like you said, extremes, and somehow
Sorry, I cut you off.
most people that are watching it identify to one or two characters, you know, and that's why that's what keeps them entertained. That's what keeps them.
Or even if they don't identify themselves, they identified someone.
Yeah,
definitely. There's
but
I think.
Go ahead. No, please, you drink up. It's free.
I think there's definitely more trash in the internet.
absolutely
Because it's cheaper to produce.
And
Everybody can take a camera
and also
camera.
you have
And
no ground
for
rules for
mics for this. They're
well,
talking
this was
around
not
it.
cheap.
Yeah.
This was expensive.
and the most how can I put that? The point of most people who create content on the internet is, all right, I'm going to create something. My goal is to make money, right? My goal is to have views. So my goal is to have views, and then I can put
Not necessarily. I mean,
no, I mean in
like
a general way. If you want to create
Sure,
content, I'm not speaking about this one.
No.
I know the
I know your intentions are
clearly,
pure.
Exactly.
we want to make
You're
a lot of money.
someone
We want to make a lot of money.
that has,
Sponsors, if you're listening, we want to make a lot of money.
But
A
you
lot
know,
of
people that
experience
create
through the years.
True.
if we're talking about mass, you know, people want to create content so they can have views, so they can put publicity.
Advertising, etc. Yeah,
and then make money, right?
I think you should stop at people
and their
because they can.
What?
Because they can.
Yeah.
Because they can, exactly.
You have
It's
no
cheaper,
rules.
It's easier.
TV, you have a lot of rules, man. You can't say words. You can't say.
You have no rules, and it's easy. Like we see it in
Everybody
music.
can pick
There's a
up
lot
the
of
camera.
freedom online.
Music
Absolutely.
before,
Sure.
like to get a song out, there was that filter that tells you, okay, you need to go to a label. There's the producer.
Yeah.
Are you gonna like professionals
Freedom.
of that
Freedom.
stuff?
Freedom.
That's
Now,
why today
You
it's
take
so
your
hard to
phone,
find music.
Some people put
But what's
sounds on
interesting,
SoundCloud, yeah.
what's interesting is that I don't know if you guys noticed. If you follow some politicians that are very that don't go
Twitter,
in
man.
the same that don't speak the same language as the
Population
population,
generally,
you know, people that you know go
Yeah, they put a gap between them and the population.
They tend to be put aside by social media. Lots of politicians that didn't embrace the politically correct and the doxa, we say doxa in French, you know, la pensée dominante, you know. They tend to be a bit, all right, so this guy doesn't follow the trend, so we'll kick him out. In France, they did it with a guy called Jean Messiha, which if you listen to the guy and read him a little bit, he's a bit, you know, extremes ideas. But social media have started to embrace censorship.
Yeah, censorship. Absolutely.
Censorship, which is something that is new,
Awareness,
very new.
I mean,
So the concept of freedom in social
Trump
media
has been
is
censored,
changing.
has been kicked
Trump
out
has
of
been
the
kicked out.
platform.
So you have to ask this question. You know, on what grounds do you consider something that needs to be censored? You know what I mean?
And should internet be censored and be regulated? Because that's the absolute freedom, and that's why it's easy. That's why
the
we are
difficult
allowed
question,
to have
you know,
a
on what
podcast here.
grounds?
If I had to submit the podcast to an authority, etc., it wouldn't be as fun. I mean, I want to be able to say.
Well,
what
you
I
do
want.
actually.
What authority?
Like there are filters.
Yes,
of
but
course,
it's
there are
very-
filters,
very-
but they are
that's
very
the thing.
loose. I mean,
I think
very
it's
easy.
a question of the consequence. If we say there's no rule, we're gonna be in the dark net. That means pedophiles will have access to stuff. You can buy explosives, all that
Yes,
stuff.
there are rules, but there
But-
are enough rules to
make it.
But it all depends of the
to
consequence.
keep people who make money.
It's all depends
to
of the
make money.
consequence.
It's too
For
much
instance,
of a free
Trump
land.
with one tweet can make you an
Sure.
economy tank. That's not something that you can take lightly.
yeah,
You know,
I mean, Elon
not
Musk
something
when
that
when
could
he
be
plays
done,
with
man.
the
What do you
stocks.
mean?
That's not something that could be done.
What do you mean?
Normally, you it's not. Tu devrais pas avoir.
You shouldn't have.
You
to
shouldn't
do
have
that.
to.
I got you. I got you,
be
brother.
able
I
to
got
have
you.
that kind of power. Thank you.
I got you. Hey, no
You
problem.
have that kind of power.
Yeah, they do, man.
No,
like
what I mean
Elon
is that
Musk
you should-
plays on Bitcoin every time he tweets, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like
Or Ronaldo with the that thing with the game with when he took out
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Stuff
So it
and,
shows the power
made the
of
stock-
it. You
That
know,
was not really
the
like-
most
What do you
social
mean?
medias.
That was not really like a tweet. Like
No,
It
the
was a
guy-
video.
No,
It was
no.
a video.
Same
His
thing. It's-
influence.
It's a question
It's
of
can
having
like-
an audience constantly. Every like you have, Spider-Man with great power comes
Yeah.
great
Yeah, great
responsibility.
responsibility.
The same thing goes for
Absolutely.
social media and
Absolutely.
attention
Absolutely.
in general.
But do you think social media should be should be like censored and regulated, or do you think they should be as open as possible? Of course, we need to respect some legalities. You cannot encourage violence. You cannot encourage
Yeah.
all those things. But do you think if I'm extreme right, I'm allowed to say this?
Yes, you're allowed to say anything you want, but once again,
There's
there's
a line.
what do you consider something that needs to be censored? You know what I
Well,
mean?
let me-
on what grounds?
Let me
That's
give
the-
you. Let
that's
me
the-
give you.
that's
Let
the
me give
question.
you my understanding of freedom of speech in different regions of the world. If you ask anybody anywhere, do you feel free? They will say, yeah, of course I'm free. I can sit down. I can get up. I can go buy cheese. Okay. So it's relative.
Yeah,
if you go in
exactly.
North Korea,
That's
you ask them, are
exactly
you
it.
free? They will say, yeah, I'm free.
relative.
But they are not free compared to South Korea, which is like literally like hand in hand.
Yeah,
So-
there's no absolute definition.
there
of
is no
freedom.
absolute definition. But here is the thing. In France, for example, which is a country that we know pretty well, all of us. So France they have limits to the freedom. For example, you cannot say that, I don't know, you cannot insult somebody or because you can be sued for defamation. You cannot, for example, say that the Holocaust did not exist. So you cannot like pretend or at least give the theory or the thesis that a historical fact, you cannot deny it or say it didn't exist, it didn't happen this way or this way. In the United States, you can. For example, Christopher Columbus, they have a big day, Christopher Columbus Day, etc. Many people protest. They say, "Oh, he was a slave master. He actually imprisoned and he killed all the indigenous people, etc., etc." So we should not celebrate him. We should actually, it's the opposite. We should shame him and make sure like he's
well
where
forgotten.
he should be. So
Yeah.
so historical facts are also. Here is they go even further in the United States. You are allowed to be a KKK member. You are allowed to be a Nazi member. They go even further. You are so much allowed to do that. You are like any other organization, meaning like you can rent public spaces and you have security and you have police and you have everything. And these are paid by everybody. So you are allowed to say anything you want. And their theory is to say, well, actually, if you are allowed to say it, at least we know who you are.
Yeah.
And you should, of course, you cannot say, oh, we should kill black people, we should kill
No,
that.
but
we all know what
there's
KKK
freedom
wants.
of idea, but not freedom of action.
Of
And-
course.
and that's where the line is kind of is hard. Is that nowadays some people with their following and stuff like that, their ideas are actually becoming actions, like saying like I don't know.
Listen, ideas can be dangerous. This is a
Yeah,
fact.
of course.
But if I just say, hey, I don't like black people, you are allowed to say this in America. You are not allowed to say this in many other countries because
but
it's supposed to be racist, and
course.
racism can lead to violence, etc., etc.
You're gonna get a beat up either way.
For sure. But some KKK members are police chiefs.
Yeah.
Some KKK members are politicians.
Yeah.
Some Nazis and skinhead and all those extreme rights are well implanted in their community. They don't pretend. They don't hide because they have such a big community. I mean, again, this is an extreme minority in the United States. I'm not talking about millions of people. I'm talking about a couple thousands here and there. So nothing major, but still they are allowed to express themselves. And which model do you feel like is better? Do you think we should allow all freedom of expression as long as you don't encourage violence, or do you think we should put some, hey, let's pump the brakes. You cannot say this, because if you tell him, oh, you cannot say I don't like Jews. Do you think because it's illegal, he's going to stop thinking that? It's not going to solve the problem. It's just going to make it illegal. It's like drugs in Portugal and in many countries where they said, okay,
I think it's a very complex question because the definition, you said it very well. The definition of freedom is relative from country to another. The what Europeans or Americans consider as being freedom is not the same as Russians or Chinese, different cultures and so on. But the thing is, social media is not governed by a country or a culture or history or anything. It's governed by people who created it.
And companies,
and
they decide.
And their goal.
Social media is an amplification.
Exactly, and their goal is to make money. But I think I would give an answer this way. I would say I don't think it's a good idea to censor anything, right? Because people will find a way to express themselves anyway,
and it will not stop them from believing what they believe.
Of course,
if you make it illegal,
only going to make it sound.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
because
the
they're going to go
solution is
underground.
more
Now they are the underdogs. Oh, look at us! We are the government is against us. Yeah.
I think the solution is more on a long term
education.
Exactly.
True.
Education. You know, as we say in our tradition, God won't change the condition of his people if anyone
of
some people if
they
all
don't
those
change
people,
themselves.
Absolutely.
Specifically don't change.
Absolutely.
So I think
But
it's personal.
I think
it's a personal journey, but our government and our leaders must acknowledge that and help our people towards this process, right?
True.
but there's another part of it that the US is a good example because you have like extreme situations where they react, like for instance Trump's getting people
riled up for the Capitol, etc.
Like but there's crazy. Also another thing that's in parallel to that kind of helps regulate it, is that the general population becomes more sensitive. It means that today, I don't know, some words shock people. We're talking, there's debates on gender identification, stuff like that. Like people are way more sensitive, so people are starting to understand with social media and stuff that words have power, and that words can make you, but can also break you.
For sure.
And I think that's the kind of what you said, where it auto regulates at the same time, is that there are consequences to that comes from people being more sensitive, even if they have a bigger audience.
Go ahead.
It's like any new thing, I guess. Like social media is 13 years old now.
Yeah, it's not that old. You're right.
It's just gonna get. I think that we can't see it because we're deep in it. But I think it's gonna get just a few generations, and they're gonna start having laws on this. I think they started this.
Yeah. They're already starting to regulate.
I think it's just a matter of time. People are gonna get educated about those things. They're gonna know because there are new illness that comes from it. That people go to psychologists.
The bullying for young kids in schools, etc.
Like it's really a thing now when you hear people suffering from social media. So I think that humanity is gonna take lessons from this and start acting on it like they did for everything.
Yeah, they're gonna regulate automatically. You're right, and like the cyberbullying is also another subject. It's a big subject, obviously, and many people suffer from peer pressure because now it's not so much the reality is you can get bombarded by negative things, and if you come at home, instead of just have been bullied by one guy, and a lot of young kids have been bullied by a guy, but now you are bullied by 10,000 people. You are harassed on your phone, and it's like at that age. This is who you are. Your avatar is who you are, and you think like, oh, it's the end of the world. They don't like me. They are not real.
It's funny what you're saying, because I think what's the biggest bad consequence that comes from social media. I'm not one. I personally believe that social media amplifies things, so the good and the bad is kind of balanced out. I'm not towards those that says social media is killing humanity or drifting apart or whatever. But there's one thing that's really bad that comes out of it is the fear of missing out.
True.
And I think that's the one thing that kind of breaks you, because like you see stories of your friends partying, you're not there. You were just gonna spend a night chill at your place, do pasta, maybe play a video game. Now the only thing you're thinking about is, why am I not there? Oh, they're having so much fun. I'm missing out.
True.
The same thing for a lot of things, concerts, this, whatever. And you're always creating that, I'm missing out. And that's the thing that we were talking about, where you start of not accepting anymore and not enjoying anymore that time that you spend alone, because
your goal is different.
You always have that little thing that comes out that tells you, hey, you're not there.
You're missing out
every
that's
time.
True.
And I think that's the real danger of social media.
Absolutely. And people create the illusion. And I think, for example, we see people on social media, and that's not who they are. This is who they are at the particular moment, and usually at their best moment. Sure. This is who they are when they eat a fantastic burger, but usually they don't eat this burger all the time. So this is who they are.
And if they would not like it
exactly. And this is how they look when they are on the top of their shape with the perfect lighting, etc. In real life, he's probably or she's probably not that good looking all the time, because the pictures are touched up, etc., etc. So we think this is reality, and seeing people being so happy, so good looking, eating so many nice dishes, it makes us feel depressed about ourselves.
Because
oh my
we
God,
see it every day.
Look, I'm a piece of shit. Look at these guys look good. They have a Colgate smile, and they're eating super nice food. They have great vacation, and look at me. I'm in my room.
Well, you know what's funny? There's this guy that did this social experiment where he posted 5 days in a row. It was a guy and his girlfriend. One picture in front of the Eiffel Tower. The next day, a picture in the Colosseum, Rome stuff. Another London Big Ben, and so on. And what the experiment that he did is like, you see this, and they're posting real life pictures of that day, and people look at them and like, oh, you're living this amazing life. You're here, you're there, and he filmed basically the rest of those 24 hours in each place. All they're doing is luggage stuff in the airport, in the plane, the shitty
traffic
life,
jam,
like the most shittiest life you can imagine.
True.
For that 10 seconds where that's all you take. They're traveling and
there's
stuff.
also another bad thing about social media. There's also for sure.
There are good.
There are bad things, but there are good things as well.
Helps you connect.
And
helps you connect. Helps you. I was going towards the bad, and then we can go back to the good if you want. One of the bad thing is that the social media enhanced the feeling of glorification of individuals. Like our role models changed. When you scroll down Instagram, influencers. Let's talk about that.
True.
Influencers. On what ground, on what basis do you consider yourself as an influencer? Philosophers, historians, people who
scientists
who truly,
should influence us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Truly had
knowledge
and intention of bringing something to on humanity, to humanity. Today, there's no sense of humanity. It's just all right, I'm eating that. You should buy that. You shouldn't buy that. You should. glorification of you, who you
Yeah.
are, of the ego,
Tells you how
you know.
shallow this
So you
Absolutely.
forget
Exactly.
about common value. You
And
forget
also,
about building a society for your children. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. And when you talk
That's
about like
makes that.
influencers, like it's a very strong word and it's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
And what do you do? What do you influence us to do?
Yeah,
you go to a hotel and you tell us, oh look guys, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Really? Like you want to be influenced by that? Like,
Exactly.
What? It's a bad influence.
Exactly.
Actually.
What would be a good influence is someone who speaks towards something positive for society.
Yeah,
you know?
motivation and this and that. And again,
Education, motivation. There are people like that.
It's
Well,
all
well,
about the
there are
attention
people
that's
like that.
behind.
That's true, and-
Exactly. It's a matter of intention.
and to be honest, I think a lot of influencers sometimes they just want to hide behind these fake themes of like, oh, I'm motivating you, oh, I'm helping you, I'm giving you tips on what to buy and what not
He
to
just
buy.
wants
But
to make
everybody
money.
knows that behind the curtain, they get paid to promote these products. So they do advertising. So don't call me, hey guys, I missed you. You missed me. Like Coca-Cola never says I missed you. Tide never says I missed you. Starbucks never says I missed you.
Of course, we have
So-
to nuance the thing. There are
Yeah.
influencers that influence you on positive stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
leaders that
Of course,
help you
of
be
course.
the better version of
Scientists,
yourself.
etc.
Scientists,
Yeah,
it's
historians,
about trust.
philosophers.
It's about trust. An influencer, when he becomes one, basically what he achieved is gaining everyone's of his followers' trust.
True.
Exactly.
True.
You know?
Absolutely.
And
Exactly.
I
That's
That's
think
the end
they-
goal.
Yeah, they found Coca-Cola and big companies and whatever. They found that nowadays people are suspicious, man.
Yeah.
People are so, because they evolved.
True.
They learned new things. You have more access to information. You know what's good. You know what's bad. How can I make something that they know is bad sound good?
They know all the tricks now. They
Yeah.
need to use new tricks.
I'm gonna use a
Hence
friend
the
of his.
influencers.
I'm
Exactly.
gonna use a friend
Because
of
you
his.
trust him, like you
Yes.
said. You trust him or you trust her.
Just the fact that my friend is drinking Coca-Cola, I know
Yeah.
what's gonna do to my life.
Exactly,
But I'm gonna drink it.
exactly.
Yeah, give
You
me
know,
one.
Yeah.
back in the day, people trust was symbolized by gold.
Yeah.
People would
Yeah.
the one
well,
who
money,
had,
money was backed up by
yeah,
by
but
gold.
even
because
before
you could
before
trust
money,
it.
when gold started, because before gold there was transactions with
I remember before that TV and all that. I remember. I was there.
You were there.
He's still there.
I was there.
and
Gold. He named gold.
The good old days. Yeah. That was gold.
and people who had
We'll keep that one. Keep it.
people who had more gold, had the trust. of
Real
people.
value. Yeah, they
Had
had,
the
they had
trust.
something
They-
real.
they
yeah.
understood
Could be
that
trusted.
Yeah.
by accumulating gold, people would trust them more. You know
True.
what I mean? So
True.
they would have
True.
more power. So the money of exchange now is followers. If
Yeah.
you have more
True.
followers, if
True.
you have millions of followers, you have trust. That means you have power. That means you have influence. on people.
Because and that's true because data today is the new gold.
That data is the new gold.
Absolutely.
Exactly. The one who's got the
Absolutely.
data,
It's the new
got
gold
just
standard.
got
It's
the
not
power.
gold at all, man.
It's not the gold. It's the new gold standard. So yeah, I think influencers are making us a little more depressed because we feel like our life
Bitcoin
compared
maybe
to
at some
theirs is like shitty.
Bitcoin
etc.
maybe at some point. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you don't do it again. So yeah, but anyways, so influencers, that's a whole other topic. I think there are some good influencers, obviously people who motivate you. But if you would just want to show me your nice curves and you say, hey guys, you know, life is beautiful. If you know, like, come on, cut the crap. Like you just want to show me your nice body. You don't want to. You don't care about philosophy. You just take a nice sentence from here and there. You motivate me. No, you want to bring followers because you know sex appeal brings a lot of followers. You know, toys and electronic toys. You know, you try to tap on those trends like we talked about in the beginning, and then you try to have as many followers as possible. And once you gain the trust, like Ghali said, then you can sell us anything. Crack cocaine is gonna look good if you tell me it's good. So that's the danger. That's the danger.
For sure.
All right, guys. Well, I know it seems a little bit short, but I think we're gonna stop here for today, if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
It was
cool.
fantastic. Thank you
cool.
so much. I really
Thank you.
appreciate you guys coming here.
Same.
And I will talk to you soon. All right.
All right.
See you.
Thank you.